Good morning. This is KELOLAND On The Go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your weekend. We also have your boredom busters coming up. But first, our top story. Investigators are waiting on autopsy results after two bodies were found west of Sioux Falls on Thursday. Authorities say 45-year-old Jason Lucas and 46-year-old Jason Blunt got into a knife fight and stabbed each other numerous times. One died inside the camper, the other died in a pasture. Authorities don't know if they were both living there.
We know one of the individuals did. That was his camper. I don't know the living arrangements that are going on. They were working in the area, and that was a place that they were staying for about a week.
Investigators do not know what the two were fighting about. They're asking for the public's help. If you have any information, contact the Sheriff's Department. The South Dakota Attorney General's office says a deadly officer-involved shooting last month in Sioux Falls was justified. 57-year-old Glenn Nisich was wanted in connection with a homicide in Minnehaha County. Authorities surrounded his home on the east side of Sioux Falls on the morning of July 3rd. Officers spoke with Nisich on the phone, but he later fired a gun in the direction of the neighborhood and the police. A SWAT team member fired back, killing Nisich. The Oglala Sioux tribe and the FBI are looking for a person of interest in connection with a shooting from Thursday night. Authorities say Logan Cottier may be driving a small red vehicle. He's believed to be armed and dangerous. If you see Cottier, call police immediately. For 2 weeks now, we've been sharing stories of dozens of missing and murdered Indigenous people in South Dakota. One of those stories was about Holly Wilson's two grandsons she lost at the beginning of the year. During her interview with KELOLAND News, Wilson also shared the changes she'd like to see to make the Pine Ridge Reservation safer. Those include safe places for kids to play and learn, as well as education about the dangers of meth.
It's a beautiful place. Pine Ridge is a beautiful reservation. We have wonderful people, and there's just some that just basically need help. And our tragedies that took place, I don't ever want to have another family go through.
Wilson also told us about a law that's being developed because of her grandson's tragic death. You can read about Logan's Law on KELOLAND.com. A retired South Dakota social studies teachers say there are not enough hours in the school day for students to learn the new content standards proposed by the Department of Education. Becky Kelly taught social studies for 38 years, including 24 years at Washington High School. She says the new standards include too many topics that will be difficult for teachers to cover within the span of a school year.
It's almost like they thought that the only thing that kids would be doing all day long is social studies. And we have them for 45, 50 minutes in a high school classroom.
Kelly also says the standards place too much emphasis on memorizing names and dates without going into a deep dive into important historical events. The 120-page proposal from the Department of Education states that the standards should not be exhaustive, nor should they prevent teachers from teaching topics or items not listed. Let's get a first look at the forecast now. Meteorologist Adam Rutt in the Storm Center. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Perry, and good morning, everybody. We have some fog to talk about this morning. Not everywhere, but in our traditional trouble spots and up to the northeast as well. So keep that in mind as you go about the start of your day. An example of what I'm talking about can be seen in Miller, 61 with a north wind at 8 miles per hour with visibility below a quarter of a mile at times in that particular neck of the woods. Compare that to a clearer, albeit cloudy scene in Sioux Falls, 63, a northerly wind at 10 miles per hour. We're largely in the 60s with a couple of 50s to the east, 57 in Brookings, for example, 60 Marshall, 63 your number Ortonville, Yankton, and Spencer, 64 in Aberdeen, but 61 in Pierre, 51 Rapid City, 47 this morning in Pine Ridge, 46 in Custer, with not much of a breeze to speak of, generally out of the north by northwest. We do have some warmer temperatures to talk about, especially West River, and a few chances for rain to go right along with it. Details on that coming up in your extended forecast.
All right, thank you very much, Adam. A music festival celebrating the Big Sioux River returns to downtown Sioux Falls later today. The 9th annual Downtown River Fest starts at 4 p.m. at Faywick Park, which is hosting the event due to construction at Sharapa Place. Matt D. and the Roadside Revival is one of 3 bands scheduled to perform.
Riverfest is a great event for the city of Sioux Falls. I'm really grateful that downtown Sioux Falls invited us. It's just great to be here. Some really talented people playing here and have played here in the past, so it's just an honor just to be involved.
The Downtown Riverfest lineup includes Back Alley at 4:30, then Matt D. and the Roadside Revival at 6:30, followed by Laney Lou and the Bird Dogs at 8:45. Admission is free. There will not be any canoe or kayak rides this year because there are no boat ramps at Faywick Park. There's more music downtown with the Lemon Bucket Orkestra headlining LEVITT at the Falls. The LEVITT Lawn opens at 6:30. The free music starts at 7. The Sioux Falls Lion Dance Team is the opening act. St. Joseph's School at the Cathedral is hosting a Celebrating Families Back to School fair from 9 to 1. Kids can get new socks, underwear, and bicycle helmets. There will also be a free lunch. The Old Courthouse Museum is hosting Peddling the Past, Sioux Falls History Bike Tour. You're invited to ride a 5 to 8 mile loop starting and ending at the downtown museum beginning at 9 a.m. Stops along the way include Falls Park and Tuthill Park. The cost is $10. Riders must provide their own bicycle and helmet. Adam?
Well, this is what I'm talking about with regard to visibility being compromised in northeastern KELOLAND. You can see that up toward Watertown, extending as far south as Brookings, and up into Sisseton along the I-29 corridor. Visibility below a quarter and half mile at times. So, again, please be careful. Give yourself extra time to get to where you need to be safely. And as you saw on the Miller camera earlier, we have our traditional trouble spots that we need to watch as well. Beyond that, we do have some of that low to mid-level cloud cover in place, especially to the east. But beyond that, there isn't a whole lot of anything going on this morning. We do, however, have a little bit to talk about beyond the weekend. The upcoming 2 to 3 day stretch itself, though, as we go further in time, is largely quiet, but gradually warmer. Nothing too out of the ordinary, but the 90s do come back in central and western KELOLAND. I think we stay in the 80s further to the east. Now watch what happens as we go into the middle of the week. We do get some rain to start to develop out to the west, and that will gradually spill eastward as we go through Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday as well. We get multiple opportunities for some scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms as well. So this will be a very good thing considering we still have severe to extreme drought in place along the Cheyenne River and especially down south and east of Sioux Falls. So this will be something that we watch. Odds for near to above average temperatures do win out as we go beyond the 7-day forecast, as do odds for near to above average rainfall. You can see that in the later shade of green. So again, a promising trend. Highs today climbing into the 70s to low 80s East River, mid 80s out west, with lows falling into the 50s. A very comfortable night on the way. A few low 60s out there, but that'll be an exception to the rule. Warmer temperatures do come back a bit for your day on Sunday. We'll go low to mid 80s further east. 90s come back out west. The rest of your 7-day forecast is really not all that bad. We're seasonable through midweek in Sioux Falls under partly to mostly sunny skies. But by the end of the week, we do bring in those opportunities for some much needed rain. Have a great day, everybody. Be safe if you're heading out where we have fog in place, like here in Watertown. For more on your local news, weather, and sports, you can always head on over to KELOLAND.com.